What's up everybody, Whitecross Gaming back to give you a new tutorial for downloading the Total War Bannerlord mod. Some of you may already know this, it's been on my channel, we did the Rome campaign on it. Some of you might be wondering where that campaign's at. While I was making the tutorial guide for the ROT install, the entire Rome mod list got corrupted somewhere along the lines while I was moving files around. So I'm working on a way to continue that storyline with a few adjustments and on a newer patch. Speaking of which, here we are on the Discord for the Total War Bannerlord. This is the place to download the link. You need to go to the Alpha download link channel. Click on it. You'll be brought to this page where the mod author has placed his load orders and settings for realistic battle mod. And if we scroll up here, we will have the most up-to-date link for downloading the mod. Alright, this is the first thing I want you to do, is you're going to come into here and download this file. It is a Google Doc, which means it's not through a mod site. Doesn't take that long to download simply for that fact, which is pretty good. And that's the first thing we're going to download. The link for this will be in the video description. It will be the first link in the video description. Every single mod that I show you is going to have a link down there, and I will put my load order up at the end of the video so that everyone gets to see it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to jump across and we'll have a look at the mods. Okay, so there's a long list of mods that go with this one, but I'm telling you it is worth it. The first thing you want to do, as with any Bannerlord mod, is you're going to need Harmony. Now, a lot of people get confused when I tell them to download these mods. They will go straight to here, click manual, and download the first thing they see. In a lot of cases, this will be the most up-to-date version, but sometimes the mod you're playing on will not be the version that is the most up-to-date. So you need to come in here and you need to make sure that it's going to be for that version. So if we go over to the Discord and we have a look at the load order that was shown, we can see that we need Harmony version 2.3.0.186. If we come back to Google, or the interwebs, 2.3.0.186. Alright, so that's the version we download. Once we've got that downloaded, we're going to come to Steam. Actually, before you put any mods into your Bannerlord, make sure you are playing on version 1.2.8. You see how it's highlighted here. And come into here. If you are installing and you already have other mods that are for an older version and anything doesn't work, like your mod install doesn't work, I want you to come into here, go to Properties, after right-clicking on your Mountain Blade 2, come down to Updates, I believe. Oh no, it's one of these. Yep, here we go. Installed files. Verify integrity of game files. This will replace files inside your Bannerlord game that have been removed by other mods. This can sometimes cause massive issues when you're installing mods, so it's best to do it with a clean install, and verifying your integrity and reinstalling Bannerlord is the best way to do that. So, for minimum issues, do that. If you're okay with risking it and then it doesn't work, then you're going to have to come back and do this. Alright, cool. Now that we've got that done, we're going to right-click Bannerlord, we're going to open our Browse Local Files, and this will give us our Mountain Blade 2 common folder. So we're going to come into here and we're going to open the modules. You see how I've already got all of these installed, yes? But I'm going to bring it up just so I can show you. So we're going to be installing all of our mods. I've already got Europe on there, but it works the exact same for every single one of these mods. You're going to want to do this. If it says modules, open the file, then click it, drag it across, and drop it in the white area. Make sure you're not overriding another mod by dumping it inside of it. Make sure it's in the white area to the right. If you don't have a white area that you can dump into, you can always expand your file and your screen and things like that. Once you've put it all in there, it doesn't matter which order it is in here, just get it in here. You'll sometimes get a question that says, would you like to replace files? As long as you didn't dump it in another mod, the answer is always yes, because it needs to overwrite certain files for the mod to work effectively. So, once we've got all of that in, And all of the mods you need, I've got them all up here. We've got Harmony, Better Exception Window, Butterlib, UI Extender, Mod Configuration Menu, Lemmy's Europe map that we highlighted recently, the most updated version of this. So we want to go Files and find the most updated version. Always download this. Don't click this or this, go here, into the files and down here. It's always going to be your best way to go about it. If you're not sure if it's the most updated version, go here, old files, descending, and then you'll be able to actually count it up and make sure it's at the right point. See how we've got 1.2.8.4, and we've also got 1.2.8.5. This one is a fixed update 2.4, which is the version I showed in our spotlight. The realistic battle mod and battle size is my own personal one that I put in there, so it won't be seen on the load order in the mods Discord, but it will be up on my load order at the end of this video. Next thing we want is the open source armory. Now, this one's a little different to the others. You're installing 4 different folders from this mod. You're installing armory, saddlery, and weaponry, all for 1.2.x. All these versions. These game versions here are the right ones for this mod currently. Open source armory realistic battle mod patch will install 3 different folders, and they are all named open source armory, saddlery, weaponry, but they'll say realistic battle mod patch after them, or RBM after them. These go in separately, not over the top of these. So if we come back to our Discord and we look at this load order here, we've got open source armory, saddlery, and weaponry, and then we have their RBM patches below them, and then Total War Bannerlord at the very bottom of your playlist. Alright, so now everything should be installed and your game should be up and running. Once you've got everything installed, we'll close out of all of this. Give me a moment, minimize everything. Got a million folders open right now. Alright, gonna move all this out of my way. Not that, not that, not that. Right, we want to open our launcher. Whether you're using the default launcher or the Novus launcher is entirely preference based. I personally prefer the Novus launcher, but that's just me. And another thing, guys, before launching, once everything is installed, I want you to use your Unblock DLLs, quick launch me bat. If you don't have this, you can just go through and manually unblock the DLL files, and by doing that we can go into our modules folder. We can open up, for example, Lemmy's Europe project, see this submodule. We want to right click this, properties. I think it's in, yeah, here, I think, advanced, and there's generally a button here for unblocking DLLs. All of mine are currently unblocked, I believe. Yeah, so I can't really bring up much of that. But if there is a file there that says DLLs are blocked, you need to unblock those. It's much easier to do it with the Launch Me bat. It'll unblock all of your DLLs at once if there are any that need to be unblocked. The Novus launcher also has its own way of doing this. You can come in here and click this button in settings to unblock all DLL files, which will allow everything to run. The DLL is just a way of your computer saying it doesn't entirely trust the file. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with the file, it's just your computer's firewall just being careful. Alright, go mods, we'll open it up. This is my load order. I will go full screen so you can see exactly how it's set up. We go Harmony, Better Exception Window, Butterlib, UI Extender, Mod Configuration, then Native, Sandbox Core, Sandbox, Custom Battle, Story Mode, Lemmy Project Europe, Realistic Battle Mod, Battle Size goes in here, then Open Source Armory, Saddlery, Weaponry, and their respective RBM patches. At the bottom, Total War Bannerlord, and you put your birth and aging options right down the bottom. Generally a good place for those to go to avoid any sort of disturbance and make them run properly. I do have other mods over here, but those aren't for this, so ignore the right side of the screen. The left side here is all that matters. This is the load order for the mod. Alright, so there it is. Everyone take a screenshot of that, or just pause the video and do it as I'm doing it, and this will be your load order. You hit play, and the games shall launch. Alright, we'll have open source armory up the top if you've done that correctly. Battle size set to 240, 240, 240. You can manually change that for your respective computer in the battle size mod. You can open it up, open its file, and then just change those numbers if it's too much for your computer to run that many people on the field at the same time. It is quite an effort for my computer to do it, and I've got a 3090 Ti. It may not be a 4080, but it's still very powerful, and it still gets slowed down a little bit doing it. Go into sandbox mode for your game. This is where you want to be loading in. You don't want to be doing story mode. Story mode in a lot of mods causes a lot of issues because it's got an inbuilt storyline and things like that, and certain events that can cause crashes more often than not. In sandbox, you generally don't get that happen. Right? You'll come in here. You'll pick your culture. You've got the Romans, the Scythians, the Archemenids. Words are hard. Archemenids. My Australian brain can't do it. The Gallic tribes, Germanic tribes, Bretons, Carthaginians, Macedonians, Egyptians, Scythians, Sami, and the Boltons. Whole lot of people you can play as. You will spawn in your respective region you've picked. If you picked Macedon, you'll spawn Macedonia, and so on and so forth. And we did also see the realistic battle mod settings you need to have for this to work and for your realistic battle mod to actually be balanced for this mod. Come in here, and I found this setup tends to work across just about every single version of every mod with realistic battle mod. You almost always have to change it so that it's not doing things it's not meant to. Alright guys, that's the full in-depth guide of how to install the mod. If you're having any difficulties at all, please feel free to either reach out to me or the team on the mod page. They have a lot of people there to help you out, and the mod team is absolutely amazing and they do an awesome job. And I hope to see more of you playing this mod. Bye for now guys, not forever.